The 2023 Ravenna Tractor Pull. 2 big nights, Friday, June 9th and Saturday, June 10th at 7 p.m. both nights at Anabar Park, Ravenna. See Grand National Outlaw Class, Pro Stock, Modified, Super Farm, Pro Stock 4x4, Modified 2-Wheel Drive, Light Pro Stock, Diesel Super Stock, Light Super Stock, and Light Limited Pro Stock. That's June 9th and 10th, Anabar Park, Ravenna.
Well, we're going to do a bunch of poll promotion tonight. So welcome everybody to Live with Lussetto every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard on the Facebook and the YouTube. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm curious what the temperature is because I feel like in the last 3 weeks we've gone from winter to summer. I don't know. It hit like 90 degrees in Wisconsin today. So, and that's May 31st. So hopefully everybody had a great Memorial Day. And it's time to kick off the pulling season. Kaylee Tuma is going to be talking about the Ashton Tractor Pull, which is July 1st. We're also going to talk about Bridgeport, Nebraska, which opens up the Heartland division this weekend. So we have a bunch to talk about. Lussetto, take it over, buddy.
Yes. Well, I want to thank Kaylee for coming on tonight. And I think most of the people know this and appreciate the Case IH stuff you're wearing there too, Kaylee. Way to plug the sponsors. Kaylee's been a driving force in this pull. And how long have you been involved? Maybe I should say officially, because I think I've seen you running around there for a long time helping, but you've kind of taken the reins here.
I officially started in 2016 of taking everything over and getting everything going.
What organization was there at that time?
I believe it was the Bush Pullers.
Okay. That's what I was thinking because I'd been there under actually 2 other groups that I've pulled there. So that's interesting. So any new or exciting news or sponsors or anything this year or anything different?
Not really. We've gotten a lot of new sponsors. I guess new to me because they used to donate in the past. Well, there wasn't very good record keeping back then. And so now they're finding out about it now that we have Facebook and all of social media. And so now they're like, oh, well, I want to donate. And we're like, well, don't feel bad that we haven't asked you. We just don't have any record of you donating in the past.
Yeah.
So that's why you haven't gotten asked.
Sure. And for Jason and everybody else, Kaylee's done a phenomenal job promoting this poll. I mean, she's picked the ball up and really kicked it down the field. I mean, she's done very, very well with this.
Way to go, Kaylee. Way to go. That's all.
I don't think the men in the organization like it very much, but we've seen growth in sponsorships and spectators and pullers. Last year, we calculated it out of like pullers and everything, and last year was our biggest year we've had.
Really? And I'll add, I've seen this pull from the time I've been involved. It was kind of small to where you've just seen this steady growth. It's been really cool to watch. And it's one of my favorite venues. And I'll tell you, I get this from a lot of pullers that just love this place because it's pretty old school. In 2020, I don't think I've ever seen so many pickups backed up on that hill parked and, the little grandstands. And you could just see it really take off after 2020.
Yeah, 2020 was another good year for us, especially since it was COVID. Nobody was able to go anywhere. And then when they found out we were still having our tractor pull, they're like, well, we're going. Whether or not they knew anything about tractor pulling or not, they still came.
Yes,
if you were able to have a tractor pull in 2020, it was a good year because people were wanting to get out and do stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Ravenna had canceled earlier in the season. So, it was one of the few pulls in the area, I think, that pushed through.
Yeah. We had to go through a lot of paperwork and stuff of saying like how we're going to do everything for COVID, whatever. But no, I don't think anybody got COVID from it. We weren't worried at all, but
I know my dad was going to have a tractor pull in Marion, Iowa, or Springville, Iowa, just outside of Cedar Rapids. He didn't care, what they said about COVID. And the health official said, I will stand in the middle of your pulling track and nothing will go down the track. That's what he told my dad. Normally that doesn't work well with my dad, but this was such a I don't know. COVID was so weird. You know what I mean?
It's an uphill battle.
Yeah. I don't really know anybody knew what to do. So really, besides, okay, I guess we're not having a tractor pull, but
yeah,
I'm happy for the people that did do it. So.
Yep, and they have a very nice farm pull. It's not, I don't know what you want to say, Kaylee. It's not a farm pull that's going to be there till 2:00 in the morning. They run this thing through and crank it through in about 3 hours previous to the Heartland region show, and it's it's a nice abbreviated pull.
Yeah, and as you can see on our flyer there, we have it starting so many hours earlier, so that way, because last year we had a big turnout with our farm pull, just because with Travis and Keaton going to other places and pulling, then those people know that, well, I guess we're going to come to yours since you came to ours. So now they're coming to ours from way out east, and so now we have to have enough time. And we were going to have it closer, but then we're like, no, because if we need to work up the track before Heartland starts, then it'll give us enough time. But yeah, we usually try to get through it pretty quickly, try to get them moving, but it doesn't always work.
You've done well, in my opinion. Because I still love seeing the old farm tractors and that too. I
think that's why most of the people come is to see that farm pull.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the other thing that's really cool is you'll look up and who you see in the crowd. I don't know, it's like royalty from the Ravenna area and different pullers.
Yeah,
there's a lot of well-known tractors represented up there, sitting around just enjoying it. Do you have any sponsors or anything that you want to thank, Kaylee?
I can pull up the list I have of the ones that we have so far. Granted, we're not done collecting yet, but I just got a new one yesterday, and he said he talked to you, Dwayne Simpson from Ord.
A very good friend of mine, yes.
He said he used to donate, and I had no record of it, and so, yeah, he said he was very glad to see it still going. Let's see here.
I'm going to ask real quick, Kaylee, how far is Ord from Ashton?
Ord's, I want to say like maybe 43 miles.
Okay.
It's not too far. It doesn't take that long. I guess when you go there so much, like it just doesn't take long.
But see, that's also our local Titan dealer, one of our sponsors. They came down last year. That was very good to see them up there.
Yes, and Titan does. We get donations from them from 3 different locations. Grand Island gives us a tractor that we usually put on a Packer or something, and then Kearney gives us a donation, and the same as Ord. So,
nice.
Yeah, they're very good. They help us out a lot. Another one is Citizens Bank. They're located in Loop City, St. Paul, and Central City. They have always donated every year. Mid-States Irrigation of Kearney. Trotter's Seed. Dennis Adams. He's from Dannebrog. He's just a local farmer that has always donated for us. R&K Irrigation out of Grand Island. Union Bank and Trust. Joe Knock Family Farms. So that is a family. Their grandpa used to have a pulling tractor, and then they quit pulling it. I don't know how many years ago. And then their grandpa passed away, and so now they're trying to get it to go again, but they'll see. They wanted to do it last year, but they didn't get it fixed in enough time. So It's cool to see that one come back out. And then Erickson Spalding Livestock Market, Ag Services Polis, Mel's Ag. I'm sure you guys know Mel Nelson.
Yep.
Bander Farms of Loop City. Nutrient Ag Solutions is a new one this year. They're out of Ravenna. Anderson Diesel Service, and then Ag West Commodities, and River Junction Livestock Nutrition. That's all we have for right now. The guys haven't given me theirs yet, so.
Okay. Kaylee, is there any goals or where would you like to see this poll go in the future? Are you happy where it is? You want to see it continue to grow, or?
I definitely like to see how many more pullers we can get to come. Last year, I know we had quite a few from Missouri and Kansas, and we've never had any out of state. I mean, to my knowledge of since I started taking control. So that was pretty cool to see. I just like to get other states and get more people involved, and of course add more classes. But with us being small town, that doesn't
takes
always
more sponsorship
work.
money. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And another thing we started, I think we started it in 2020, was for our admission. We started doing free will donation. I know when we first started that, everybody's like, yeah, no way, you're not going to make anything. Well, we have had a better turnout with that than we did charging. And so we've just stuck with that because you don't have to have people collecting, and so.
Kaylee, you just put, I've always admired promoters have done that. I think you're braver than most. Do you just put collection boxes out, or how do you do it?
So my two cousins, I usually send them with a box around the crowd on both sides. And then usually it's sitting up at the concession stand, and people, I mean, by the end of the poll, people are throwing in lots of cash. And I mean, it's good because, I mean, they know what it takes to put it on. And so they know that, we got in free and we got a good show. And
are your cousins about 6'9" and they have ball bats and they just walk around?
I think they're girls, Jason.
Yeah, that's smart. Two girls.
Yeah,
that's smart.
They got a good beer garden too, so
Yep.
Yeah, that's another thing people like is you can bring in your own cooler and have your own alcohol, whatever. I mean, we don't make any rules of anything, and our town hasn't made an ordinance of anything yet, so it's still good.
Don't give them any ideas.
Yeah. Knock on wood or something. Find it right now.
Yeah.
Because the bigger stuff gets, the more attention it brings. So
yeah.
Yes.
We had a feller at one of our events in Richland Center drive through the snow fence to leave, and he took up the road about a half a mile, and then he wondered why the cops pulled him over. And then he had been in the beer garden all day, and so the bigger our events get, the more attention they get from the police, Kaylee. So when you drag the snow fence with you, I think you deserve that kind of attention. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's hard to argue that one.
Sir, why do you have fence with you? Oh, I'm taking this home because I need to keep the cows in. Keep the cows in.
Do you ever have any aspirations to pull a tractor at all, Kaylee?
Yes, I'm trying to get Uncle John to let me. I'm getting closer to that day, but we'll see. They all think because I'm a girl, I can't do it. But
we have plenty of girls that drive in Heartland.
I know. I've showed him, and he's like, "Oh, my goal this year is to have him go to more pulls than just the Ashton pull."
That would be awesome because for Jason, these guys have a tractor that is capable of running the Light Limited Pro and Outlaw.
Wow, awesome!
And if I'm not mistaken, did it hook only once last year?
Yep, only in Ashton.
What's the name of it?
Red Raider.
Red Raider. I'm looking for pictures of it right now. So
I made a polling page, so it should be on Facebook.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Is it the Red Raider polling team?
Yep. Yeah, and a lot of people, when they come to the tractor pull, they just want to see that one pull. And so, like last year, he wasn't even going to pull it. And I'm like, you do know lots of people come here just to see that tractor.
Okay, here we go. I find it.
Yep. And that's actually the second one he's had. So the first one he had, and then he sold it to Ohio. I think their last name is Weisman. I don't know. They have 2 other pulling tractors, so they have 3 now.
Okay.
And then he bought this one from a guy in Iowa.
Brian Blankenspar and his dad.
Yes.
I can't remember his dad's name right now, but it's a relative of Tim Blankenspar.
Yeah. Well, it's not an 88 series, so I know it's not Tim's tractor. I knew that. So.
Yeah. Right. Yes. Yeah. The other interesting thing is I think this old thing still has a set of Parks 24/5 pullers on it.
Those are very, very valuable.
Which could be worth a pretty good chunk of change.
Very, very valuable. So.
Yeah, I tried to get him to come on the show, but he insisted he's busy. So.
If you got Chad to talk on here, I would be thoroughly impressed.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so Sharon Miller-Cooley says she's checking in. Todd Vaughn says a fun place to watch a pull, also a good track to pull on. That's a good compliment, Kaylee, when the pullers say it's a good track to pull on.
We get a lot of those. And with Uncle John being a puller, it helps because then he knows,
absolutely,
how to put the track and everything. And if it doesn't meet his recommendations or expectations, he tears it up and redoes it.
Russ Dostal is an Outlaw super fan and a pulling fan. He says, went there for a truck pull to see Larry Renter and Running Wild. We sat under the tree. It was a great place to watch a pull. I like it.
Jason, if you look, you can almost see the shade where there's a tree strip on the would be the west side. It shades the track.
If you go to our Facebook page, I have a picture on there of the tractor pull page. It will show the west side. It actually shows both sides.
And I have to ask for other reasons. What do you guys, I've got Verizon and we generally have almost next to zero cell service. Does the other brand work?
We have Viero where I live, which I only live 3-4 miles out of town. And we have good service here. There is a Verizon tower on the hill in Ashton, so you should get good service.
Is that a lately thing?
No, that one's been there. We used to have Verizon where we live, but there's so many hills that we couldn't get any service out here. So
because we're planning on live streaming that event, so we're making sure we have the best service we can get. Yeah. And I will tell you, this is an interesting pull to find because you have to go down just a little, what almost seems like an alley.
Mm-hmm.
Behind, I had some friends that were coming and were late, and they literally found it by tracking me on Snap Map. I was in the sled going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
They thought maybe you were drinking, Greg. And just
they were just glad to see where it was because they were running late.
I always look for smoke if I'm not sure where it is, if I'm running late. So,
with that being said, John and company put up those signs, which are a godsend. They're out on the highway, which I can't tell you what highway that is, but
Highway 92.
92. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, that was another thing I made them do is get more signs of arrows. Yep. I'm like, people get lost, and then we have pullers trying to come in at the top of the hill. Well, they ain't gonna make it down with them.
Yes.
Trucks, so
that's something else that we need to promote too. Where else can you go to a pull for free will donation? Carry in coolers. Shade.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what else you need.
Yeah, there's very few. Kaylee, what made you decide to do the free will donation thing?
My dad actually came up with the idea. One, it's because we always struggled to find people to collect money. And 2, we were tired of people saying, we have to pay so much money to get in here and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, we're actually giving you a show, but whatever. So, yeah. And with it being, it was during COVID. So we're like, well, people couldn't go to work, so they didn't have any money. I mean, not to say they didn't have any money, but
Well, they had money. They had their COVID checks, Kaylee. Don't you worry.
But
yeah.
But honestly, that come up, and I remember John talking about that. Is the people that are strapped, and there was some people pretty well strapped, and their businesses got shut down or whatever. He said,
Mm-hmm.
we want to just have a good time and have some normalcy. And holy cow, I think it paid off well.
Yeah.
Do you recognize a tractor named Section 8? It'd be an Alice Chalmers, probably a 210.
Oh yeah, Chad Stevenson. That actually, this is a tractor I work on for a cousin of mine.
Okay.
It's a D21 that's Alice Chalmers that's running in the light limited pro class, and I'm sorry to say that it's probably going to be on the shelf this year because it's getting a pretty substantial revamping.
It's a 21. I always thought it was a 210 or a 180.
Yep.
I forget. It's been a while.
No, Chad had a 210, and what happened is we had a major engine failure, and we purchased, my dad's cousin purchased the 210 of Chad's, and we took the engine and transmission and the needle differential. We just basically redid that 21 with those internal parts.
Gotcha.
Made a big difference.
Chad lives over by me, and I used to announce over at our little farm pole over in Sauk back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s.
Oh, really?
I'd watch him pull that over there. So it was always around Memorial Day. So
I understand that was a pretty tough old tractor.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. So no, hopefully, I apologize that it won't be out this year, but next year it probably will be out with recast head and hopefully some good improvements. Oh, speaking of the Titan tractor right there.
Yep.
There's another guy that I know helps from Farwell.
Oh yeah, shade tree repair.
Yes. Old puller from back in the day.
Yep.
Terry Bergeron.
So, Kaylee, is this at a fairgrounds or is this like a private property or?
Nope, it's actually at the ball field in Ashton.
Okay.
The ball field doesn't get used. I mean, the men's league plays there like every other Sunday or maybe every Sunday. I don't know. But it really doesn't get used. And they actually used to have a derby where this track is. Oh. And there's actually derby lights in those trees. And I mean, you can't see them now. We'd have to cut some of the limbs off the trees. But yeah, they used to have a derby there. And I mean, this tractor pull's been going on for 22 years. But it used to be before that. My Uncle John started it back up 22 years ago.
Okay, I was going to say,
I love
think
that.
With just there in background. 96.
Yeah, so that's Travis's son, Keaton. So that's their farm tractor that they take everywhere.
Okay.
I love it.
Oh, Charlie.
You just lowered it tonight, Lussetto, or what? Yeah, there it is. Looks great.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's still there. A little progress, but not enough.
Mm-hmm.
How many people, Kaylee, do you estimate that you get at this, or what's some of your bigger years, like the COVID year? How many people do you think you had there?
Oh, I don't know. I'd say at least over a couple hundred.
Okay.
It was huge.
You guys have a funny deal in your area. Most of those polls right in that central Nebraska, like north of I-80 there, are very sponsor driven.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, I would say there was way more than 200. I wouldn't be surprised there might have been 500-600.
Yeah, there probably was.
You're humble, Kaylee. That's good. I like it.
Yeah. Hard to count with the free will donation, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and my cousin actually last year, she just came to take pictures of Keaton for his senior year. Yeah, so there's those trees. And she goes, would you like me to just take pictures? And I'm like, sure. And so she did, and everybody liked them. And so I'm like, well, you might have to come back.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, so then there's the other side. And that's another thing. So we have our firemen and EMTs, we give them a tent and water and give them free food from the concession stand. And, I mean, they love coming out. I mean, they always fight of who gets to come out. And
yeah. Oh, they have the crew there has been the same people year after year. It's nice to, everybody knows what to expect, and makes it so much easier.
They know what's going on, and
yes,
makes it easier on us.
The first is on a Saturday this year. Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, so last year we had it on a Sunday because 4th of July was the next day, and we think that's why we had such a good turnout, is because nobody had to go to work the next day. So then this year I was like, well, it's not going to be the day before 4th of July, so hopefully we still get a good turnout. But
yep. Well, and I tell you, the other thing it helps a little bit too is if you look, Outlaw generally takes off, and they usually don't have pulls on both 4th of July and Labor Day.
yeah, yep, and that's another. Chad was the one that actually. So last year when I said, well, we should have it 4th of July weekend because we would have. I mean, especially with the lake being nearby, we had a lot of people from the lake that came. And he goes, well, just make sure there's no outlaw pulls or anything else. And we got pretty lucky last year. So,
yes. What class is this here, Greg, that I'm flipping through right now?
Classic mod. They're a 380 cubic inch V8 of whatever flavor, and tractor rear end and stuff.
Well, I like all the different colors. It's neat.
Oh, there's a little bit of everything in that class, and some neat looking rides. Very, very, very popular class on the eastern side of our Heartland.
Nice.
What better backdrop there? A cornfield and the whole 9 yards.
That's America, Kaylee. That's America, Kaylee, right there.
Yeah, I have them all grouped on there.
You have them grouped by class?
I have them grouped by. No, I don't think I have them. Well, no, okay. I have tractors or pickups, and then I have farm pole.
I got you
on there. I don't have them by class because knowing me, I would have screwed something up.
Is this the Mr. Trucking that always says he's hauling an elephant or whatever? That guy Dwayne that always comments.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what he hauls. You never know what he hauls. Rhinoceros to one of my favorite comments was apparently giraffes or assholes. Something I would have never known. But yeah, he hauls about anything.
And all these pictures, guys, they're found on the Ashton Tractor Pull Facebook page. I'm just flipping through them right now and sharing them with all of you. I like Carly's comment. When you see pickups backed up to the track, that's usually the best shows to be involved in. So
yes.
The harder you blow, the farther you go. That's a nice little saying there. Oh, dark horse.
Can't wait to see that run this time.
They always are commenting on our stuff, and I mean, they love coming to our pool.
Yes, they do.
And we let Mel's trio come, and then we just have them pull exhibition, and then we give them cash at the end just because they came. And Mel always donates every year, so we always try to reward them for coming. And
Mel's a great ambassador to the sport there.
Yes.
Locally for you guys.
Yeah, your photographer did a good job, Kaylee. Have her come back. So.
Yes.
Yeah, and she doesn't even do photography for a living. She's a grain merchandiser at CVA, so she does a pretty good job. I think she even got one of Greg talking with my Uncle John looking at the track.
Yeah. Well, and we might even get your favorite John Deere there this year too. Dan Christensen, he should be up and running.
Oh yeah. He keeps texting me all the time. I'm like, you better be there.
Yeah.
Is that a 2.6 diesel truck class you got, Greg?
Actually 3.0.
3.0. Okay. I just saw the short wheelbase. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that's Dwayne Pfister again. He has about an entry in every class.
Okay.
or close to it. He's got a couple classic mods. He's got that 3.0 diesel truck, naturally aspirated 2-wheel drive, and a Pro Stock 4x4 pickup.
Nice.
So he's got his own convoy on the way to the polls. There'd be Dwayne's pickup.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of good pictures in here, Kaylee. This is cool.
This is the people that we had on a couple weeks ago from Kansas. They
Okay.
come up last year with, beautiful pickups.
I like it. I like it a lot. 2-wheel drive.
Yeah, and last year we even gave Greg a break. We were able to get another sled. This year it didn't work out so well.
Sleds are getting to be very tough. I don't.
Yeah.
It's a current concern of mine in the future, to be honest with you.
Maybe I can get Uncle John to invest in one.
Yeah,
Then you'd have to go to the pool.
you'd have to go to more than one pull.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he pulls his tractor once a year, right, Kaylee? So, I mean,
Yeah.
That orange truck you just showed, Spencer Hazeman. I hope we get him out more. He had a little tough luck. In fact, he might have hurt that thing there.
Somebody hurt one. I don't remember.
Yeah, that's a neat looking old truck, and they've got a class. They've got two different classes of. They've got a street modified 2-wheel drive, and then the larger 540 cubic inch class.
is that like an old 60-something Ford?
Yeah, it's got to be. And I'm not a big Ford guy, so maybe somebody can correct me, but I think that's middle 60s.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I love
Kaylee,
like that. That's sharp.
Kaylee, is there a class that you would love to bring in if you budget or any of that was not an option?
The class we would like to bring in, just because we've had a lot of talk about it, would be Mel Nelson's class, because we have not only him asking us about it, we have many others. So,
well, what's very cool is we have a Rick Bradley's John Deere got out towards the middle of last year, and also a Rod Pasota sighting would never be terrible.
Yeah, I know he's been talking to Uncle John about it. So
Rod has?
Yeah.
Good. We need to get him up there.
I know he came last year, but he couldn't get it to run.
Yes.
So
Jason, Rod is a guy that pulls in our Ag Light Super.
Yeah, I recognize Rod's name. Yep.
Rod is a crazy man. That thing, when it runs, you might want to stand back for one reason. It's either going to come
when
flying.
She goes. When she blows, she blows. One of those.
You can never find one of it epitomizes Rod. Is there's a video from the Iowa State Fair, and they've got great videos from when the public TV used to do it.
Yeah.
And that thing rolled out about 40 feet, pre-ignited, and a ginormous boom lit, stuck the front end up about 2 foot, and just hauled the mail. Just killed everybody.
That was a wildfire, right?
No, that's Irv Hake. That's another very good tractor. But this Crazy Horse is the name of Rod John Deere.
Yep, I recognize that now. These are some pictures from 2007, Kaylee, that Russ Dostal just sent me. So,
oh, wow.
So he's sitting in the shade.
That's a whole nother deal to have the super fan show up. Been to Ashton too.
Yeah. It was before my time, because the guardrail isn't there, and I see there's bleachers on the other side, and
John Deere's.
I was only
John Deere's, yeah.
I was probably only 5 or 6 when this was going on. We don't even have those
goodness.
John Deere flags anymore either.
Yeah. It's fun to look back though. Whose 1466 is that?
That would be John Cashlan's. So he's the one that used to do the farm pole.
My dad had one of those with a white cab on it like that, and that just freaking brings back memories.
He actually he should be in the pictures from last year of having it on the Packer.
Do your ears still ring from running that thing, Jason?
Oh yeah, no, it was the loudest. But I was like 7 or 8, so I thought it was cool.
Yeah, this is. Do you remember the picture that just got posted a while back of the old truck and the new truck together?
Yep.
Of renters. This is the old truck.
Yep. Who's the flag guy? Anybody recognize him?
I don't, Kaylee.
When it was still Nebraska Truck and Tractor Pull Association.
Oh, yeah.
So, because I recognize the blue tent behind the sled.
Yep.
Laser.
Yeah, they had a hay that year. This is fun looking at old pictures like this. I like this. So.
Yeah.
Thanks for sending these in, Russ. So here's Tony. He was hammering on our show last night. We had Dan Duffner, like the head of Case IH, on. And Ron was interviewing him, and Tony was saying D21 and John Deere. And it was funny because Dan used to work at John Deere. He's been at Case IH for about 15 months, he said. So we told Tony we were going to send him some free Case IH stuff. So.
Oh, the interaction's great. I've watched a little bit of that. I heard some of it. See, that is, is this one of the...
Oh, that's a mortgage commercial. Sorry about that, guys. I'll go back.
Yeah.
This would have been... I think I saved this one. I think I'm going to put this one on Beer Money.
Oh,
anybody recognize this tractor?
That's Uncle John's tractor.
Yeah.
That's sharp.
Yeah, we wish the ball field wasn't there so we'd have more parking, but we're glad we're able to have the tractor pull there still.
Yep.
So the village owns that land and whatever, so we're just glad they still let us do it.
Yes. It's a great spot. And the pit's all grass and everything, which is always, we don't get that like the Wisconsin guys do.
Yeah.
Grass doesn't grow in western Nebraska like you think, Jason.
No, I know it doesn't. I've seen all the pivots out there when I go pulling out there. I didn't realize you guys irrigated so much, but then I talked to a couple farmers. So.
You should have seen the days before pivots if you want to see work.
I saw we went out to Menno for Omer's birthday party last fall, and I saw the beans and the corn. They had a drought. It was horrible. I'd never seen beans that looked that bad in my life, and corn.
Well,
so.
You had 300 miles west of there. It's a different world.
Whew. Crazy.
Yeah. Maybe we should ask the Ryan question of Kaylee, what she'd drive if she could drive anything.
So Kaylee, Ryan Rusink always asks this question, Big Rye. He takes photos, always asks us on our Monday night Let's Grow Pulling Show, if you could have the keys to anything, Kaylee, any past or present pulling vehicles, you don't have to worry about breaking it. So whose vehicle would you drive in the truck or tractor, and where would you pull it?
Well, I would probably pull Uncle John's tractor just because I know that he wouldn't let it go without, he'd make sure it goes down the track. And I'd probably pull at the home track in Ashton because people would be like, oh, hometown. One day it'll happen, but we'll see.
You want us to call Uncle John for you and lobby?
Yeah.
Okay. Just text me his number. I'll give him a ring after the show. So. His
son used to do it with him, and then I don't know why he just all of a sudden quit doing it, and then so now he's got a fire suit and everything, and so I'm like, I could put that to use. We're getting there, but
I gave Chad a hard time about driving last year, and he didn't really say anything. He just kind of smiled.
Yeah, he doesn't.
That's about what I got.
He'd rather work on it and get it running rather than pull it.
He's the pit crew. He's the guy on the ground.
He did a very good job. And they found their GoPro. Well, they couldn't get it to work, and I got it to work. And there's from when Chad used to pull.
Mm-hmm.
And there's I think it was Ainsworth and all kinds of different pulls. Yeah. It's from years ago, and so it's kind of cool to watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, my goal this year is to get Uncle John out more than what he did last year. So once I get that down, then we'll work on.
I'll twist his arm. We got some close ones. I'd love to see him at a St. Paul and a Lexington.
Yeah,
and
when you guys announced that, I told him that right away, and he goes, might have to go. And I'm like, you are going.
We'll keep working on him.
Yeah. Kaylee, you seem like kind of a take charge kind of gal. I would just tell Uncle John, I would just honestly write him down and say, this is where we're going. And then just walk out the room. And then wear the fire suit in too, by the way. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just bought him a bag for it because he had it in a garbage sack, and he goes, the helmet keeps falling out because it's too heavy. And I'm like, all right. So I'm like, does this mean that you're going to go other places? We bought this new hauler, and we were fixing up the inside to where you can sleep and whatnot. And
He's got living quarters.
Yeah. And so we got it all done. I'm like, I've got everything for it. And he's like, perfect. And I'm like, all right, now where are we going?
We're running out of excuses.
Yeah. Well, last year he was supposed to go with me to Colorado, and he never did. So I ended up going by myself with another kid from around here. So yeah, I went, but no tractor. He told me I could have just drove it. I'm like, well, I really don't know how to drive a semi, and I really don't want to wreck it. So
yeah. Okay. Well, I guess anything else or any parting shots there, Kaylee?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we might
Covered everything. So
Keep up the good work, Bailey. It's if you've never promoted a poll before, for those who haven't, it's freaking hard, and no matter what you do, somebody's pissed, and you just got to kind of smile and do the best you can and put on the best show you can and have fun with it. But most people won't put the work in, or they might do it once, Kaylee, but they'll be like, I'm never doing this again.
That's the thing I will say that I'm impressed with her. She is on the. I mean, like you said, took charge and just does a phenomenal job. Yeah.
No, sometimes just say, screw it, we're doing it, shut up. And there's 2% of the world's leaders, Kaylee, and you're clearly a leader, so get after it.
Yes,
that's kind of what I do. I just tell them, like, this is when it is. Get your donations, bring them to me, and
I got a feeling, Uncle John, if you just said, Uncle John, I'm driving tractor, so let's get this party started. You see what he says. So
yeah,
I'm not going to say this. I'm not going to say this bad, but John strikes me as potentially being just a little stubborn, though.
Just a little.
Yeah, possible.
But how could you say no to Kaylee? Let's be real. Come on.
Yeah. Usually I get my way with him. Usually I can get him to be on, like, go the yes way, but
yeah,
I just keep mentioning it to him, it'd be nice, if you don't want to drive it, somebody else will. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, well, so we'll see.
You're doing a nice job with your Facebook page too, Kaylee, keeping it active. I've seen a couple posts a week, and that's what you need.
I try to do it. So I usually do it. I usually post on the 1st of every month. So, because that's when the tractor pull is on July 1st. So that way, I just keep saying whatever. But then I try to do, whatever else, try to ask questions and keep them all, interactive. And
I have not appreciated the countdown, though. I will tell you that right now. Made it pretty real, like we are behind.
Greg, that's just a puller thing. We had this chat before we went live, I swear.
I know.
It'll be January, and then one day it's June. And you're like, what?
Yeah. Like,
every year. Every stinking year.
Yeah, I was like, this poll is like never going to get here. And then now we're 30 days away. So,
yeah,
it's going fast.
Well, Kaylee, we're going to let you go. I need to talk about Bridgeport real quick before I start my California show. And Greg doesn't have anybody to talk to tonight unless you just want to stay on. And you guys can keep hammering. So,
okay. Well,
does that sound good, Kaylee?
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
All right. You have a good night, Kaylee. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
You too. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
All right. See you.
Lussetto. She's cool.
Oh, man. Driven girl. She does a phenomenal job.
I like her a lot.
And she's going to be helping us, which we're thrilled about.
I'd be finding a way to get her involved with Heartland Division more.
Well,
she's not.
She helped last year some. She went to a handful of pulls, and it's one of those fire and forget deals. You just don't have to worry about her taking care of business.
Send us a video there, Zuck. We'd like to see a video of the Griffin running there. So.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah. Well, Jason, I'll tell you, we are screaming up on a deadline for Bridgeport here.
Yeah.
2 days away. I got stuff like one tractor behind me, like probably isn't going to make it, but we've got a lot of neat stuff coming. We've even picked up some guys coming with a super field from Eastern Nebraska to, those pickups from Kansas we're talking about coming that were on the program the other night, So a lot of neat stuff. Should be some new faces, which is always good, because that's one thing we run into trouble out west is it's the usual suspects. And wow, man, it's great. Sometimes gets a little stale. So it's great to see,
Yep.
So
no, Jazz sent me the gold sponsors. I got them scrolling on the bottom. Shout out to Platte Valley Bank, Bridgeport Ethanol, Inland Truck Parts, Red Beard Garage. I want to meet Red Beard. Rural Radio Network, Star House Moving, and then it's obviously Friday, June 2nd, Bridgeport, Nebraska. Street Stock is at 6 p.m. The Heartland show starts at 7 p.m. Admission $12. Kids 6 to 12 is $6 American, 5 and under free. Pit passes are $15. So Bridgeport, Nebraska, this Saturday.
Yep.
So,
and I tell you, we got a lot of stuff, a lot of first coming for Bridgeport. We should have the last piece of our live stream equipment show up tomorrow. Not a minute too early, but we're going to be telling that. We're going to give it a whirl. Yes, there's our 3200 super field.
Nice.
From Albion, which I'm super excited for their poll as well. I think that's going to be a neat poll. But yeah, we're going to have the live stream. We've got updated app again. Can't wait for everybody to see the trailer and truck that Outlaw gave us to haul around, new track markers. There should be a lot of cool new stuff.
Agreed. Zuck says he'll have a video for us in a couple weeks for the Griffin. Mr. Pulltown Nut watches our show every week. Jason, don't worry, I made it. Not sober. I would not expect anything. I'm glad he can type, though, when he's been drinking. That makes me happy.
Tell Doug there's a poll next week in Ravenna, so that doesn't sound good.
Oh, get going, Zuck.
Here's another one of our classic mods, the Moody family from Wheatland, Wyoming.
The Flying Knee just got finished up last night, ready for Friday night.
That's awesome, because they've been great. They've slowly been working up. They started out, and I'll tell you what, this is something I wish a lot of people could take to heart. They got their tractor on the track with what they could do and have been kind of getting their feet wet.
Yep.
And keep coming. Yes, they've taken their beatings a little bit, but you see them every year get a little bit better. It's been kind of neat to watch.
Dallas Todd says, is Janelle coming from Cheyenne?
I don't think so. She's got some, she's a doctor?
Yeah, pretty much.
Legal drug dealer, or whatever she called it. And I think duty calls. I think she's got, she has some seminar she's speaking at or something that day. So fortunately, no.
Sharon Miller Cooley says, can't wait for Bridgeport.
Yes, another one of our classic mod competitors.
Doug Voth says, good job on the sponsors, Greg.
I should say, good job, Jazz.
Good job, Jazz.
Yes.
Hey, it takes an army.
Yes.
It takes an army of Lussettos. So.
Well, we got a couple of them here. So.
Carly Pastulka says, see you in Haywarden. She even spelled it right for me, so I'd say it right. Way to go, Carly. That was fun.
The enunciation correct there.
Dylan Manuelo says, we will be there.
Yes, we're having we don't generally offer this class all the time, but we've got a group of guys with the 2.6 diesel trucks. And I'll tell you what, Jason, it's been awesome to see. These guys are climbing, and we're going to see probably 2 of them back at Scheid this year from out west, which I love seeing these guys. We got a bad problem out west of being, big fish, small pond. But when we get these guys to go back and compete and knock heads with the best of the best, it raises the bar for our small association.
Yep. Does Zach have a cookie, or what's he got going on back there?
I don't know. Maybe
I do got a cookie.
You do have a cookie?
Snickerdoodle.
He's been basketballing today. They had their first basketball camp, and we got teams. I think 16 teams from all over a 3-state region knocking heads here locally. So
nice.
It's finding out how out of shape he got from the last 2 months.
Not that much.
Awesome.
So,
well, great. Good luck to you guys in Bridgeport this weekend, this Friday. I'm heading down to Monette, Missouri. We're down there Friday night and Saturday night. So
yes.
And then I'm driving to Canada to go fishing with my family. And I talked to the Morris, Manitoba guys today. And I said, how far is Morris, Manitoba from where I was? It's only 4 hours. So I am going to go to Rumble in the Valley next weekend and video.
That's going to be interesting. I watch that stuff with interest.
Yeah.
Because we see some of the.
I'm going to be chatting to them a little bit, Lussetto, about you. So I have an idea as well about doing some stuff. So I got to talk to Van Beek about insurance and.
Should I be nervous? But I'm going to tell you something.
We got to have a Canadian division of the Heartland division. So.
Oh, that'd be phenomenal. I tell you what.
He said flat out, he goes, Jason, everybody just assumes it's freaking 18 hours away, and it's not. It's just about North Dakota. And I'm like, you know what? Let's talk about it.
The scary thing is, for me, there's a lot of their stuff that's straight north. And it's I'm going to just tell you right now, I would love to go up there and see some of the stuff. We used to actually pull with a fair group of Canadians when we did a lot of stuff in Montana back in the 80s.
Okay.
And it was they were
I'm gonna grab some decision makers and have a powwow with them. Just start kicking the can a little bit about talking to them about the outlaw. So
yep. No, I think that'd be great. And I tell you what, to be honest, outside looking in, I've seen strides of those guys continually get better. I don't know a lot of the people, but it looks like the Hofferts with the sleds.
Yep.
They've got Ween's old 2-wheel drive up there. Your tractor's very good, and
yep.
The couple, what is there, 3-engine mod up there as well?
Yeah, they have some pretty good stuff. So
yes.
Fishing in Canada, oil person. Yeah, we go up there every year, Chris. I know my spots. I caught a big ass muskie last year. I mean, not big for me. It was like 49 or 50 inches. And that's not a big muskie, but for me, that was a big fish. So that's good.
Yep.
So I'm going to jump over and start the California show. If you guys want to keep going, or should we wrap it up?
Well, you know what? We can wrap it up. It's fine. Okay. Be honest with you, I need to get back to work because we got stuff in my mom's light limited super that we dispatched at Bridgeport last year is potentially getting close to fire. So at the 11th hour, that thing should be back out to hopefully not blow up this year.
Perfect. So
okay.
Yeah, and then Mark Ham says, I think Lauren Paulson's old 85 light limit, I think it's up north as well. I think it is too. So
it went farther east, though, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'll find out. I talked to Brian Weeby today, and those guys, so I'm excited. So
well, you put a word in up there because I'll tell you what, I think that could be a phenomenal addition.
Oh yeah,
No,
I mean I want to go up and check it out, but I have a mission.
I have a plan.
I have a plan. So, all right, everybody, thank you for watching Live with Lussetto. Ashton, Nebraska, July 1. Bridgeport, Nebraska, June 2nd. Have a great week, everybody.
All right. Thank you, guys.
See you, bud.